super close. I don't think we're gonna get any wind today. Snow in the mountains. This is 4 of my 16s that I'm coaching. 46 boats racing. Kids are practice racing. There's no racing going on, so they're just running their own little races. Check that out. Zero races so far. It's 3:30. The wind has now come straight east. Look at the mountains. And you're doing a lot of things. At 3 minutes, you want to stand up in your boat. It looks light to the left. If I look out there, it looks glassier. If I look out there, maybe a tick windier up there, just to the right of the mark. But you, at 2 minutes, you got to stand up. There's actually a puff 1 minute away, right here. So this start is actually going to be started in maybe the windiest part of today. We've been out here since 11. Again, 2 minutes to go, looking for wind. This looks like a decent breeze, actually. Wouldn't expect this breeze to last. We got the I flag up for the first start. This fleet is notoriously does general recalls. So now what I'm looking at is the jib trim. I think these jibs going on port tack down the line are looser than the boats that are on starboard. Let's see if these boats' telltales are flying. See how they're trimmed pretty tight, and I think the telltales are kind of flying. So an indicator that maybe the pin is further upwind. Yep, so a lot of good sailors. So at 2 minutes, I'm looking at where are the good sailors, because if all the good sailors are at this end, I don't want to be at the boat. I could be in the middle. Pete does a half tack there, see that? 7632 does a half tack, and then you can scull back down to close hauled. Yeah, you can scull to close hauled one direction. You can't keep sculling past that though. I think the line is pretty square. I think the pin's a little bit favored. And this is a hard start. This is 40, almost 50 boats. Okay, got them off. 5693's angle on that tack at the pin looked like, again, I believe pin's a little bit favored. Okay, looking upwind here, this looks like a good steady beat. Orange flag is saying it's 6 knots. And straight upwind, the mark is straight upwind. Race 1 on Saturday, 3:40 p.m. Been out here a while. I can't tell who's ahead. I don't know if the boats on the left are ahead. If I was Calvin here in 7419, I would have gone just a little further. You know, if you think you're going the right way and you're not near ley line yet, so I have an inkling he started down here. I know Tommy Rudowitz here started down here. So again, I think Penn was favored first race by 5-6 degrees. 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees. Tommy don't panic, dude. Don't cross through the middle. Yeah, came out of that tack a little high. Here comes Calvin. No, that's Anton back. So again, before the start, you gotta make sure that you're looking upwind in these weird offshore winds. You gotta make sure anything offshore, wherever you sail, is gonna be weird. And in 3 minutes, you look upwind. At 2 minutes, you look upwind. At 1 minute, you look upwind. You're trying to make sure you don't be the boats that sail into the big hole. Now it turns out this is about as nice and easterly, nice of a light easterly that we get. And then Anton and those guys in the middle, look at Tommy Rudowitz here. Tommy should be footing here. When you're on this big of a lift, you should be going 1 degree off the wind, no higher. The next shift is gonna go back right. So you wanna go forward if you can on Anton there. So no pinching. Pin was favored, and I think race 1 here, more wind on this side too. Anton's doing good there. He's just closing. Tommy's trying here to foot. He's trying not to point too high. The odds are, you know, when you look at the water though here, this is a lot of wind compared to the boats on the right. So Tommy's trying to foot and just go bow forward, but Anton's just quick. Anton should be going footing a tick, and we just have more wind over here. Okay, 530 looks lifted on starboard. You can't see him on the other side of Anton. He looks kind of lifted. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. So Anton's made 2 great moves this race. He footed before the start a little earlier than the boat to leeward, and he actually pointed at the boat to leeward, and then at like 4 seconds he went close hauled where the other guy was still heading down. So that was a really good, confident move. And then right there he knew that guy was going to tack, and as he tacked, right before he tacked, he accelerated, the guy tacked, and he just slowly squeezed up. Cool. So now what you're thinking about as a crew now is this is going to be really close racing, and this is going to be a lot of bad air up here because they set a pretty short course. I mean, it's the first race, and so we didn't expect this much wind. I mean, this is right where I am, is probably 6 knots. Didn't expect this much wind. Tommy Rudowitz coming in here with a late puff. What, 1.8? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what's lifted? Port tack was lifted upwind. That was just an incredible spinnaker set. Oh, holy moly. Go back and watch that. They did just win orange bowl, so they're pretty good. Kelly Holtis in second. Kelly Holtis and Ali Shand. Anton in 2.46. Calvin 7419 coming around here in top 12. Good job, you guys. You really have to just, when you're on a 4-hour delay, you really have to come out and be sharp. It's not easy to do. You guys did it. Okay, that's good. Maddie Anderson right there. Her crew learned to sail in the fall. Look at that, flying that spinnaker. Calvin's crew, Sky, first Perry Regatta, and it's 46 boats. They could go pole up now. There's enough pressure right now that you can go quite high in the pole. It's once the spinnaker's easy to fly like this, and your boom will stay out. Good fleet. 3 minutes to go or so. And again, the wind is very steady. This is very unusual. This is great practice for offshore winds at other locations when you travel. So this, because when you have offshore winds, they're going to be naturally shiftier and usually gustier. This is a surprisingly steady offshore easterly wind. We maybe get this 2 times, 3 times a year max. Sometimes 0 times a year we get a east. Now looking at the sails, it's hard to see who's going upwind. Let's see, this guy's telltales are flying, his jib is halfway out, so I think the starting line is pretty square actually. And now I look at the flags and I think that I think the committee, the pin in down here looks further upwind. 1 minute to go, you gotta look upwind real quick. There's plenty of wind everywhere, no holes anywhere. Now your goal is to slowly start working up underneath somebody. You don't need to get right under somebody at 50. Get underneath them at, be underneath them and slowly close the gap. And at 30 is where you have them pinned. If you get them at 50 seconds, they have time to get away from you, or somebody else has time to come steal your hole. I think the line is square. I would still be down here. I don't know what Tommy's doing here. He's hanging back too far. I mean, Bella, look at her. She's gonna roll, and when people yell go at you, don't go. See, she just went a little bit early and gave up her gap.
Again, please. 5493, 8449, 9050.
Darn, Kelly over. So this race is a tick windier. I don't think the ride is going to be as bad this time. So I think the line was more square. And it's a tiny bit windier, so people started a little better up at that end, and then they got out of there a little better. So this is going to be an absolute mess at the windward mark. Let's see if the lefties cross again.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We have to shorten up. But so pull up and come on over to us. Take your flag down while you're doing it, and give us what you got out.
I actually think Wyatt Kelly is trapping. You're going to see the boat to windward of 24. And I think Wyatt's actually trapped. So the wind is definitely further right. Very unusual to have a bigger righty in an already east wind. So I must be a little off on my compass here, like in my head, because this must be the true easterly right now. I think it's been a little bit northeast for race one. I think in race one it was northeast a little, and now it's gone a little more east. So I guess that's not totally unusual. Still more wind on this side. If you're too hard right, you're going to be in the lee of the jetty actually a little bit. Yeah, I can see Wyatt Kelly do their trapping in 6 knots of wind. That's incredible. Okay, now these guys seem to have more wind again. Yeah, there's Wyatt. Good move by Anton here, just to try to come over. He noticed these boats were gaining. Probably figured there was more wind, and he's just going to try to come over here and get some people to tack. Yeah, that was perfect. Gets that guy to duck. That guy's done. Now he's racing. Oh, good. Anton's going to keep coming. Get underneath these guys. Get right in front of these guys. I would have come a little further maybe, but I can't tell. The mark's here. He's probably good. Wyatt rushed across just a little on that one. Okay, so now when you're coming across here, this is going to be hard. You're going to have to be ready to slow down. It's better to slow down and not to turn down. It's better not to turn away from the mark. It's better just to slow down. I would just luff the jib here. He's gonna go for it, dude. They have a top and lift twist around. You have problems with your top and lift wrapping around other lines. It means your bungee's not long enough and tight enough. You gotta go long bungee on the top on the fore guide and have it tight. Oh, good. Ben and Holland having a little better race. I forgot to talk to them. Gotta pull their main in up way. Yeah. Sabbath sailors that we've got going in the 420, pretty young. Yeah. Ah, look at him go. Gotta go lower, dude. He heads up in the puffs. Go down in the puffs, opposite of upwind. Race 2 on Saturday. And I think consistently this side has been windier, upwind and downwind. And these boats all over here are doing quite well. So let's see, Anton's gonna round 1, 2, he's gonna round easily 4th. The gates are very close together, so if I was them, which way would I go? I would probably round this one and go out and get around these spinnakers. It looks like there's enough wind over here. I'm looking at the pink spinnaker and he looks like he has wind, so I would come around this one. They lost wind on that side. Look at these guys, they are just parked out there. Okay, this is gonna be, easterly wind is a little scary. Because it can die at any moment. So it's an easy decision on which gate to go to. They were just closer to this one. And they round 4th at this one and obviously couldn't get around that one. So the gain late though has been by these guys. So now you stand up in the boat and you look, and I still think there's more wind. If I stand up in the boat here, I think there's more wind out there. Yeah, so just like I said, once an easterly starts to die out, this is what happens. Oh, wow. The wind is coming in from here. It's gonna be, they're gonna put spinnakers up. Spinnakers up. I wonder if they'll keep the race going. Yeah, the late afternoon northwesterly or westerly that was forecast is gonna hit now. It's gonna be a great sail in. So you got, this is the old windward mark here. And I like that they're letting them race. Anton's done a good job of soaking down here. Their pull was definitely too high when it got really light. Oh, they just ran into the easterly. So the wind over here is actually blowing offshore. I think Anton knew that. Yeah. Go any further and you might be in an easterly wind. Yeah, see the pole's so high, your spinnaker's just in the light spots, it's just falling over. In the puffs, it's okay. This is gonna be chaos. I mean, Anton is just gonna skirt the whole problem. But I mean, this is gonna be madness down here with this pack. Oh my gosh. This is an incredible race. Okay, we'll see what happens. I think Anton's gonna round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing just went inside out for him. He should lower his pole for sure though. So the last puff on this run is all port tack header. And I didn't see that coming at all. These guys all played this side and gained a mile. I mean, they were right with Anton. Okay. What the problem with the too high a pole is, you're gonna see if he does get any wind. I mean, he's blanketed, but see how hooked the leech is? That's because the pole is too high. So when it gets light like this, you gotta lower your pole. What did I say? So yeah, like Parker said, we're now going to the leeward mark to round that, and then we'll finish downwind. And then it's gonna be an awesome sail in. Look at this, dude. Unbelievable. Just like I said it would be.